Hey guys, Panther0822 here. We're gonna get into something kind of cool, or at least I think it's kind of cool. I'm doing a little bit of a different setup, and this is mainly because I've got to kind of do a little different setup to a certain degree because I am actually doing something, and I wonder. Is there enough? All right, guys. I'm sorry. I'm doing it. I'm having to rearrange a little bit. That kind of works, actually. Back that up just a little bit. Okay, and then I need to adjust one other thing. I think I'm going to do. So I'm going to move this down over here. All right, and then I should now okay. I might actually want to move this so that this is actually more like right there. And now I need to remove a camera. Alright, give me a minute, guys. This can go back up to here. That does not need to be that. That can come shrink. Okay. All right. This is this is a bit different. I'm not quite used to doing this type of. No, it's not that I'm not used to doing this type of setup. It's just a bit different. So anyways, for the title, actually what I wanted to do was I wanted to I could probably actually expand that a little bit. Sorry, I keep fudging and fiddling. All right, I'm gonna try and make that so that that's the last adjustment. I hope so. Anyway, I thought I'd gotten that better, but I guess the Sparko cam's gonna be across my face. that's a little disappointing, but it is what it is. It's not my face that that's really important. So anyways, I am that's not my wife's deck. It should be my wife's deck, but it is not. This is also not my wife's deck. Alright, there we go. There's wife's decks. So anyways, I don't know how many of you are familiar with the game Magic the Gathering. Magic the Gathering has been around for a very, 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 very long time. The game is actually older than I am. I think. No, I'm actually older than the game, but not by much. The game was actually developed by a college professor. His name was Garfield, and no, I'm not kidding. But anyways, Garfield was a college professor of probability and statistics, and his students were falling asleep in his class. And so he wanted to try and find a way to make a horrendously boring subject more entertaining. And so he developed a game. Wizards of the Coast bought it, and they currently own it. And they were going, we think we can make this we can basically turn a profit off of this. And he said, okay. They eventually actually made a card with him on it. But anyways, Magic is a card-based game that is comprised of basically four different colors. So let me actually get a card. All right. So hopefully you guys can. God, the glare is horrific. I'm sorry, guys. Although that's not too bad. All right, so here's basically the way that this works. You've got the colors. So you've got white, blue, black, red, and green. And each of these colors has their own strong suits. I'm really not going to go into them because this is really not a tutorial on the history and things like that. For that, I'd have to actually do a lot more research and actually do an independent video. And if I was going to do that, I'd actually create like a PowerPoint slideshow and actually do things a little differently. But basic principle is you build a deck either comprising one or more of these colors. Each of the different colors has their different strengths and also has their different weaknesses and things like that. So anyways, I wanted to actually make, or basically take a look at the cards that I've got and actually make my wife, more specifically, take a deck that she has and make it basically the best possible out of the cards that I have. I used to have a far larger collection of stuff, but now not so much. Anyways, before we get too much further into this, I want to actually take a minute and actually get into the video itself. I want to actually take a minute and actually get into the video itself. I want to actually take a minute and actually get into the video. Okay. I've got it on my. I've got my iPhone up here, so I can actually keep an eye on the chat and things like that. But what I'm going to do is I am going to share this out here real quick. So for the few people that are currently watching, thank you very much. We are going to share this out. Facebook. No, that's not what I want. Okay. we're going to share it out there. My phone is actually moderately close to death. I might want to charge it here soon. Alright, so we're going to share again, share Facebook. And then I want to actually change I want to share this in a group. Although I do also want to tweet this out. So we'll tweet this out here real quick. And then let's try and share this out one more time to a group. No, not what I want. I'm not really sure I'm going to be able to get this into a curve, at least not on this. That is okay. That's fine. All right. So basically, we're going to take apart. We're actually going to do. We're going to do this for a little bit. Number one, I'm going to look at my wife's decks. I'm going to optimize one and or both of them, and then we're going to get into my decks, and then we're going to do the same thing. So this is going to be a little bit of a deck builder. I'm going to step you guys through the process as far as building a deck, recommendations, and things like that. Now, a lot of the deck building stuff that I actually learned from a very good friend of mine who plays active tournament play on Friday nights. So I'm going to share with you the things that I've learned. I'm going to share with you some of the things that he's taught me. And overall, we're just going to have some fun, and I'm going to try and do my best to answer questions and things like that. So let's get into it. All right, so we're going to start with this one right here. Now, these are decks. These are actually really cool decks that deck boxes you can buy. They're awesome. Some of these are horrendously hypersexualized, so yeah, there's that. All right. So this is not feeling like a 60 card deck. This is feeling like a 40. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 19, 22. So this is a 42 card deck. This is not a standard legal deck. Standard legal decks are 60 card decks. Is what they are. So I'm not going to touch this one. If anything, I might see if we've got enough sleeves, and I might see if we can max that out to a 60. This one, on the other hand, looks and feels like it might actually be two full-on 60 card decks. Maybe. I love these sleeves. These sleeves are awesome. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37. That's not even a full deck. think this is the same. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. 1, 2, 3. You don't even... Yeah, this is not... Alright, I guess I'm going to have to ask wife's permission to maybe functionalize stuff. I'll be right back. Well, the wife is asleep. So, honestly, what I think I want to do is we're gonna get her a functional white. Is this white green? This is white red. Gotta be honest, I think out of the cards we have, I can get her a more functional white green. I might be able to do a white red. If I do a white red, that'll be a deck concept. If white red, there is a tournament legal deck that I did. I was actually very, very surprised when I did this, because I actually built a tournament, a dominant tournament style deck called Burning Weenies. And what that is that's a white creature base, and then you use red, and specifically you use the red burn spells. The deck is designed to hit fast and rock the opponent and kill them quickly. It's what it's designed to do, and it works really, really well. I built this deck concept. I didn't even know it was a valid tournament concept, and so all right. So we've got white land, white red, white red, white red, white. Combo cards. White land, white, land. Oh, those are red. That's the red. All right. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna tear apart. So I've got my deck here. I've also got some decks here. I've also got some decks here. And what we are going to do is we are going to tear apart our decks, and we're going to make our wife the best white something deck that we have the cards for. Is what we're going to do. More than likely, this is going to be a white green. The wife likes white and she likes green. She's not bad with red, and she doesn't have an issue with red. That being said, I think she's gonna like a white green much more, and I think honestly we can get her a functional white green deck that she's gonna love. It's gonna work really, really well, and it's gonna be really, really simple. So I think that's what we're gonna do. So So white, land, green special, green, land, green, white, land. And as I'm separating stuff out, guys, if you've got questions, go ahead and ask. And I'm going to flip over so I can actually see the computer monitor here real quick. My phone is not showing me anything. Honestly, I want to share using the computer. I can just share this one. I might also. That shared out. Oh, there we go. All right, back to sorting. This is the boring part to a degree, so I apologize for that. But this is part of the process. This is what you do. You go through, you take a look at the cards that you have. That's an artifact. And you make the best deck that you can. And also, and again, I'm going to step you guys through kind of the general, and I got to be really honest, this is going to be a very general kind of walk through. As far as stuff goes. All right, now some of these sleeves are different colors, so I'll have to kind of do some things as far as sleeves go, but I'll deal with that. I'll deal with that here in a minute, because actually what I'm probably going to need to do is unsleeve these and then go from there. There's actual sleeves in there, so I think what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to re-sleeve everything in here, and yeah. Okay. These are all purple, so they all can go over here. I've got enough sleeves to where I can sleeve a 60 card deck. That's not going to be an issue. I really one of the things that Indigo and I did when we were first dating is we played Magic. It was just one of the things that we did, and we played as a team. And we typically played green decks, specifically elf decks, because elf decks build on each other. They're a fantastic deck concept. They work really well. Unfortunately for elves, they tend to be a little bit easy to beat. Due to the fact that most elves are small and can be beaten typically very, very easily. So, actually, I should probably just do it this way. Make my life a lot easier. Since we already started unsleeving the purples, we're going to keep going. With unsleeving the purples, and then we'll unsleeve the other ones. And then once we're done with that, we'll take a look at what we've got so far and see if we've got at least the formation of something solid. Typically, what you want to do in a two-tone deck, and when I say two-tone, I mean two colors, is you want to typically dominantly use one color for creature base and the other for spell base. Typically tends to be a little bit more functional when you do things like that. And it's more functional because it smooths the deck out, because that way you know a lot of it is you can strategize a lot better for different things and things like that. So the thing that I'm doing right now, mainly other than separating the sleeves from the cards, is I've got a creature pile and I've got a land pile, and that's actually very, very important, is to make sure that your land is in one pile and your other cards are in another. So the opening is facing my right side. Opening is facing the right side. All right. So now that we've got those separated out, we've got an awesome divider, so we'll put that divider in there. Okay, so we've got our land pile. The land pile is going to stay right there. This is our creature pile, so those are our specials. I'll show you what I'm talking about here in a minute. Alright, so what I mean by special is that these cards are gold, and then if you take a look up here, each of these show you a symbol. So the tree is green, the skulls are black, the snowflake is white, and then 3 means 3 land of anything else. It doesn't matter, it's just 3 additional lands. So this card is a total casting cost 6. 1 green, 1 black, 1 white, and 3 colorless. And for a 4/5 with lifelink, that's not bad. And then there's cool ways to actually there's a lot of cool things you can do with this game. I've been wanting to actually do a video about Magic and things like that. I've been out of the game for so long. It's not until about 2-3 weeks ago that I actually got back in, and even then, it's right now I'm playtesting with my friend Dan, and he's got decks, and so I use one deck and then he uses another, and then we play a lot. We play for a couple hours, we test play, we refine, and then that way when he goes and plays Friday Night Magic, he's got a good solid idea. He's able to refine his decks and make things a lot more functional. So depending on cards and depending on sleeve count, what I may actually do is I might actually create a white-green deck for the wife, and then also a white-red deck. And go from there. So. I did not go offline. What's going on? It's streaming. I think what I need to do is I need to close out things. Huh. There we go. There we go. All right. I was getting a little worried there for a minute. I'm hoping we've got enough of these red sleeves to sleeve out a 60 card deck for the white, but I'm not sure if we do. There is also a possibility that she's got a 60 card deck that's got these red sleeves. We are now in land. And I think I'm going to pull the other energy drink that I've got. In my pack, so I've got something to drink. My throat, it's a little scratchy. Feels like it's gonna give out on me. So okay. Got that divider in there so that the two different sleeve covers are taken care of. We've got our land pile, we've got our white pile, our red pile, we've got our green pile. There was an artifact. There it is. And then we've got our special there. Alright, apologize for constantly moving the camera. I'm trying to make sure that you guys can actually see kind of a lot of what I'm doing. Again, I've got the two camera thing. I've got the camera set on me, and then I've got my other camera, and it is set here. So I am not gonna mess with this one. That's right. I've already decided we're not messing with that. These are my decks. I am not going to do anything there. Alright, and then we've got... Pretty positive that's the land pile. So we're going to set that over there. We've got two more decks along with a whole bunch of other cards. Because I've got a couple different. Magic comes in sets, and there's just plain and simple. Magic comes in sets. All right, this is something. This is a Hodge. This is another like 40-ish card deck. I think that one might be mine. I don't remember, but we're gonna take care of that one. And then This is another deck, but it is not sleeved, but I think I'm gonna gut it anyways. But let's focus on gutting one thing at a time, shall we? So if you guys have any questions, please ask. I am more than happy to answer any questions to the best of my ability, and yeah. So I mean, we'll still be doing a den time, so you don't need to worry about that. What time is it right now? Oh wow, it's later than I thought. It is 12:13. I've got a doctor's appointment at 1:30 tomorrow, so I should probably try and get some sleep at some point. But I am feeling moderately awake, and I've been wanting to do this for a while, so it's good. I also honestly, in a lot of ways, find this therapeutic. I mean, when I first started playing Magic, I started playing back really far back. Fourth edition is when I officially started. That's when I officially started. Was 4th edition. My brother Tim actually started when the game started. So he started with Alpha, Beta, Dark, Revised, Arabian Nights. After Arabian Nights was Ice Age, and then after Ice Age was 4th edition, and that's when I officially got started. I had a blast. This is one of the this is something that I used to do with Ray. Ray's my dad. I call my dad by his first name for a couple of reasons. One, you can usually tell how pissed or annoyed I am at my parents based on whether I call them by their first name. So if you want to know how I'm feeling about one of my particular parents at any given time, just pay attention to whether I'm calling them by mom or dad or by their first name, and you'll be able to kind of figure out how annoyed I am. But my dad and I are not on the best of terms. I actually haven't talked to my dad in, God, I want to say probably somewhere around, let's see here, I'm in my mid-30s. I moved out of my dad's place, God, September 2001. God, yeah, that was a long ass time ago. Yeah, that's a very, it's honestly not really a story I like to talk about that much. It's not a happy part of my life by any means. My mom, Janet, and I don't have the best of relationships right now either. Although that's due to, a lot of it comes down to, when it comes to relationships, if there is a toxic relationship in your life, I gotta be really honest, you need to cut that shit out of your life. It won't do you any good. If you've got that, it's just, and that's a lot of what it was. I was trying to maintain a relationship with my dad, and it wasn't working. I was constantly reaching out to him. He would not respond back. I had a moderate relationship with my stepmom, Florence, for quite some time after. After quite some time, and then inevitably even that stopped. So yeah, life at times for me has not been the best. That's land, that's coolness. Land. Alright. For a very long time, I had all of my stuff separated out by set, which honestly is actually a good way to do things. That being said, after looking at the collections and stuff that I have, I'm thinking of actually just consolidating everything into the individual colors and consolidating them into like a box as much as possible. So, like I said, my main focus is to actually separate these out and green. The largest issue is that I bought these two sets. I invested a lot of money into them, and it was well worth the investment. But that being said, my wife and I kind of split some of the cards up, and due to the way that we kind of split the cards up, it severely weakened our ability to actually build good decks, basically. So the main thing that I'm really wanting to do, the main reason I'm doing this is I'm separating things out, and I am wanting to actually get this is actually all land. Okay. Get it to where we've got really solid 60 card decks. I mean, like solid 60 card decks. And then have my friend Dan look at them and then help us either make them more functional This is sleeves. That doesn't have the deck in it. This should have... It does. Okay. I'm pretty positive neither one of these are 60 card decks, though. Pretty positive these are 40s. Although I could be wrong about that. These are 60s. Okay. I'm still going to separate them out, though, because I want to maximize things. I want to make sure that we get my wife a fantastic 60 card white green deck that that rocks. I want her to have a rocking 60 card deck. Because honestly, the Indigo has made mention that she would like to actually play again. Unfortunately, she had somebody that created a very bad experience for her, and so because of that, it has been difficult to get her back into the swing of things. And so that is a lot of what my focus is to get her back into the game. That's really what I want to do. So the next step after I do this is actually going to be something else. And I know that this part probably isn't terribly exciting, watching me actually go through and sort through cards. But this is This is part of the process. Part of the process really is tearing apart what decks. If you play, you probably know this, but if you don't, and you haven't been playing for very long, and you're going, God, my decks suck. What's going on? Why do they not work? Things like that. This is what you do. You pull your decks apart. You sort them out. You find what's in them that negates an awesome card. Negate. This is a fantastic card. So it is a 1 blue, 1 colorless, so casting cost 2. So turn 2, instant, and it is a counter target. What is it? Counter target non-creature spell. So basically, it'll stop an instant, or it'll stop a sorcery. Is what it'll stop. So it's really, really good. I learned from my friend Dan that the old school counter spell, double blue counter spell, they deemed too powerful and will not reprint. They won't reprint it due to how good the card is. And from what I understand, I think it's on either the restricted or banned list for tournament play. I think. I'm not 100% on that because I don't keep up on the banned or restricted list. Mainly because I've had no reason to. I don't actively play tournament. Not that I haven't thought about it, but okay, so pretty much everything but this. And that I'm not going to touch because I love my red deck, and yeah, so. Alright, so now that we've gotten all of everything sorted out, at this point what I need to do is I need to actually sort out and any card that basically I need to find the same cards. Red, black. Doing this in reverse order. So the next step after this is basically going through each of your piles and then getting all of the cards that are the same together so that you can actually put together your concepts. So one more there. Alright. Double white. And then after I'm done doing this for each of the colors, I will step you through the deck building part. Although what I may do after I'm done doing this is I might just tear apart my red deck, show you guys that, and then give you guys kind of the generals as far as that goes. Because this is, I gotta be honest, this can be a bit of a lengthy process. But that is okay. That's why we do it. Do I have double piles or anything right now? I don't think so. Kill Shot is an instant. It is a wonderful spell. It is a 1 white, 2 colorless instant. Destroy target attacking creature. Kill Shot is awesome. Kill Shot can win you the game. It really can. It's a great it's a great thing. Okay, so now that we've got this, I'm going to organize things by casting cost, and then so I'm going to start with 1 drop, so basically something that has 1 mana symbol in it, and only 1. But I'm also going to do this based off of creature. Okay, so now that I've got all of my 1-drop creatures, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to look for my 2-drop creatures. So anything that's a creature. So creatures are the ones that have the fraction here in the bottom left corner. The first number is how much the creature is going to hit for. The second number is how much it can take. That's basically how that works. It's not a 2 divided by 1 or 4 divided. It's not a division. It is actually something specific. So 2-drop creatures. It's a 3-drop. That is a 2-drop. Okay, and then 3-drop creatures. So 1 followed by something else. So 1 and 2 is 3. 1 and 2 is 3. Okay, and now our 4-drop creatures. So 1 and 3 is 4. That's higher than that. That's okay because that's our casting cost 5 creature. Okay. And then we do the same thing for our spells because that's what we have left. We have spells left. So that's a 1 cast spell. That is a 1 cast. Then we go to our 2 casts. Then we go to our 3s. And then 4s. Okay. So, we've got our white taken care of. Okay, so let's get our blues taken care of and we'll just do the rest. So I'm going to try and step through the rest of this moderately quickly. Moderately quickly being the operative word in that. Alright. So white is very dominant creature base. Very, very dominant creature base. Its spell base is pretty solid too. But it's dominant creature. Blue is dominant counter. No, you can't have that spell. Put that creature back in your hand. I'm going to steal that, now I'm going to beat you with that. That's a lot of what blue does. Blue is a lot of counter, control, and that's very, very, very much what it does. So, first off, I'm going to look for any creatures. No creatures, so it's all spell. And so now I start with the cheapest spell, which is the 1 and X, because that's a 1 caster. And now we go to our 2 casts. So 2, 2, 2. Then we go to our 3 casts. Which comprises the rest of those. Okay, so this should now be... Yep. Black is about death. Plain and simple. Kill creature, reanimation, things like that. That's very much what black is about. So it's got a pretty strong creature base, but its spell base is absolutely brutal. Singer Vampire. This is one of the oldest cards in the game. It is a fantastic card. It's a 5 caster, so you need 2 black lands and 3 of anything else. It's a 4/4 flying creature that every time it either damages a creature and or kills a creature, it gets bigger. This is an awesome card. The reason why I say if it damages, there are creatures that are equal or bigger. So if this card, if you can save it, say you've got another creature that's a 4/4, that's a flyer. So the 2 4/4s, they each deal 4 damage to each other, so they're going to kill each other. If you can make this card live, it will become a 5/5. This card is scary. It's an awesome card. It's one of the oldest cards. They reprint it every now and again, but for the most part, it's awesome. One of my favorite cards is a card called Braids. It's a 4 casting cost enchantment. Actually, she's a creature, if I remember right. But anyways, Braids states at the beginning of your upkeep, everybody must sacrifice a permanent. Lands count as permanent, so if you have no creatures but land, guess what? You've got to sack a land. So Braids is a brutal card if you, and it's a valid deck concept as well. There are deck concepts that are specifically braid. It's called a win condition. It's what the win condition is based on, and it's called a Braids lockout. And basically, what the deck is designed specifically to do is actually make it so that I've got cards that generate tokens and things, so I've got things to sack. I'm not actually losing anything because I've got something to sack to Braids every turn, so I don't care. You, on the other hand, don't. Most of the time. Sometimes you've got token generating stuff and things that you can do, but a Braids deck is specifically designed to blow up your creature base and basically destroy your board state. So when I drop Braids, you can't do anything. You are locked down. You cannot do anything whatsoever. Is what a Braids deck is designed to do. And if it's built right, it does it very, very efficiently. If it's not built right, it doesn't do it efficiently. and before my friend Dan got a hold of it, it was built inefficiently. So, alright. One cast creature. I think you're the only one cast creature in this. Yes. Alright. So we now go to 2-drops. We've got a couple of 2-drops. Okay. We now look for. Oh, there's a one. That's a 1-drop creature. That goes there. Nothing in the 3-drop arena, but we do have a 4-drop and a 5 and a 6-drop. Okay. One-drop spell, 1-drop spell, 2-drop, 2-drop. Do. Well, if you can read, these are English version cards, so the answer to that question is yes. Actually, they are. Provided that you can, again, there's the caveat, it's kind of one of those, as long as you can read and write English, you're alright, so. Alright. Red. Red is one of my favorite colors. Red deals with burn, is what red deals with. Red is very efficient at burning things. That goes there. That is, this is white. How did you not make it into... Alright. I don't know how I missed this, but I did. Kill shot. Alright. Gotta grab the white pile here real quick. So I'm trying not to destroy my cards. At the moment, I'm just trying to match up the ones that I've already sorted. Okay, there we go. Alright, so let's organize this. 2-drop creature, 2-drop spell, 3-drop creature, and 4-drop creatures. So 2-drop, 3-drop, 4-drop, and then a 2-drop spell. Which can go right there. Alright, let's take a look at green and... Oh, well, I've got to deal with the red here real quick. Not like there's much, because there's like 4 cards. Alright, so 2-drop creature, 2-drop creature, 3-drop creature, 1-drop creature. Okay. Green has so many good cards. Green is a fantastic color. When I first started playing, a lot of people did dual color decks. It's what they did. And I decided that, you know what, I want to do monocolor, single color decks. And a lot of people ridiculed me for it. They're like, you're insane. Why are you doing a monocolor deck? There's it's insanity to do that. You're constantly weak against certain things because certain colors are just naturally weak against certain things. But the truth is, if you get good at playing a monocolor deck, it actually helps your overall gameplay because you learn the weakness of a particular color and you learn to play around it or minimize how much that happens. So I think one of those I've already got down, maybe? Look. No. You're similar, but you're not the same. Alright, something's screwing with me, or I'm just hearing shit. I'm trying to keep an eye on things on my phone. Unfortunately, the font on my phone is really small, so it's a little hard to read. It's normally not so bad because I normally am able to get my phone a lot closer to me, so I'm able to actually read the stuff a lot easier. But due to this particular setup, it's a little difficult. So, alright, I know I already put you down, so where did you go? Very good. Some of these. Just gonna have to try and. Oh, I double slaughtered a Netcaster Spider. Alright, so let's start with creatures. I think we're going to start at 2 drops for our creatures. Oh, there's a 1 drop. Okay. So 3 drop creatures. Oh, that's a 2 drop creature. 1 and 2 is 3. 1 and 2 is 3. You're both 1 drops. Okay. Alright, so let's take a look. So 4 drop creatures. Three is 4. 1 and 3 is 4. Okay. 5 drop creatures. 2 plus 3 is 5. 2 plus 3 is 5. 2 and 3 is 5. 6 drops. 1 and 5 is 6. 1 and 5 is 6. Alright, so 7 drops. 1 and 6 is 7. 2 and 5 is 7. Alright. And spells. Those 2 are 1s. That's a 1. That is a 1. 2 drops. 2. 2. 2. 3 and 5. Okay. The spiffy multicolor cards. A lot of these cards are really, really cool. They do some really, really cool stuff. They can also be very, very expensive. Alright, so we'll start with 2 casters. And 3. Here's spell. Spell, spell, spell. Okay, so next one is 4. No, I saw one for 4. Where'd it go? No, you're 5. You're 3. No, you're 4. That's where you were. Okay. 4. You are a 5. You are a 5. And the rest of you are 6. Okay. Two, 3, and a lot. Okay, so now that we've got all of that separated, I know that took a little bit of time. The next step at this point is going to be for me to take a look at the white cards, take a look at the green cards that I already have in front of me, and then from there I got to decide on what I want to do as far as a thing goes. Now, like I said, dominantly you usually want to try and lean one thing heavily creature and one thing heavily spell. That Doesn't always work. Sometimes you end up being a pretty healthy mix, but you do want to look for a theme. You do want to try and do something where if you've got a lot of soldiers, you want to try and build up your soldiers and make it so that your soldiers build on each other. If you've got clerics, or I mean, you want to look for themes as much as you can, because in Magic, a lot of the stuff stacks on top of each other and is designed to work, and there's a lot of synergy. And there's a lot of synergy between the colors as well. The main focus that I'm going to be doing, though, is because this is my wife, and I want to build her a very functional white-green deck, or dominant white with maybe a splash of green, is I want to look and see what I've got that's going to be very, very functional. And I have torn apart all of the decks that I have access to, exception of, well, I've got 2 decks in my thing, so I might want to actually look at those, because these are the only 2 that I have not torn apart. The question, though, is there going to be anything in here that's actually going... Okay, that's an easy fix. You know, I think I'm going to tear this apart. We'll separate this out into the different stuff, and then we'll do the same with the other one. So we've got a little bit more to actually do here real quick. So let's get to it. Because, again, the main thing when it comes to Magic is, one, you want to build a deck that you like, that you're going to have a lot of fun with, but you also want to make sure that you build a deck that's functional. You want to make sure that your deck is as functional as possible. And with that being said, you really want to... so, the general rule of thumb, and I've seen some variations because with different deck types, this number changes, but here's the general rule. The general rule is you want 36 cards, so 36 creatures, spells, and whatnot, and then you want 24 land. That is the general rule. It's not a hard and fast rule, but it is the general rule because that optimizes your stuff. It makes your stuff just run and makes it really, really solid and really, really functional. So, that's kind of the general rule. And planeswalkers are awesome. I love planeswalkers. They're troublesome to deal with, but they are awesome. And I don't have a lot of planeswalkers. I do have some, but I don't have a lot. Deck sleeves or card sleeves like these are fantastic. They help save your cards and protect your cards, and they help do a lot of things. I did not remember actually having 2 of that planeswalker. You generally don't want to run more than 2 or 3 copies of any one particular planeswalker, mainly because you don't want to see it showing up too frequently. Having a playset of 4 planeswalkers in a deck usually is actually problematic because you can only have one planeswalker in play at a time. More specifically, one copy of that planeswalker in play at a time. I'm glad I'm actually doing this because this has given me a chance to actually go through and look through my decks, and I'm going to also be doing the same thing. I'm going to be refining out my stuff so that I've actually got a really solid 60 card deck. Due to that I have 2 of the same black planeswalker, I'm probably going to do a dominant black deck, which suits me because I dominantly actually like black and I dominantly like red. Black and red are my 2 dominant colors. I can play the other colors, but black and red are usually the ones that that I go for. So that's fine. Comes into play, tap. And there are some lands that are called multi-lands, and what they do is they tap and they give you a land or multiple lands. So like this card gives you one of these lands. It doesn't give you all of them at once. You tap and you have to declare which one you're using, but it does give you the access to each of those colors, and that is just fantastic. That's awesome. So when you're trying to build a deck, especially a deck that uses more than 2 colors, it's a good idea to run things like this because it helps you get the land that you need. There's also ones like this that give you one or the other, that gives you 2 land. These are awesome. Yeah, they're just awesome. So gotta remember what this planeswalker does. Green, black, and 5, so it's a 7 casting cost planeswalker. Comes into play with 5 loyalty. +1 ability is destroy another target planeswalker. That's awesome. Has another +1 ability, which put a 3/3 black beast creature token with Death Touch into play. This is an awesome planeswalker. I like that planeswalker a lot. I remember when I built this deck, my music stopped. Why did my music stop? I will have to wander over to the computer and find out why my music stopped. happy that my music stopped. Oh, it didn't stop. There's something else going on. Because I'm not in front of my computer, I don't know what else was going on, so I've got to wander over to look at my computer and see if I got like a message or something. I remember this is not a bad deck. The problem is it's too spread, and so I need to. I've been actually meaning to do this type of thing for a while. So all right, I'm gonna come out of frame for a minute. My computer kind of stopped my music, so I want to see. Okay. So again, land goes over here. I really do need to separate out the land. More specifically, I need to separate basics from multis, but other than that, all right. That deck is sorted. Oh. Alright, so I need to move shit over here. This is my Star Wars deck. I may not unsleeve this because I think this is actually a really solid functioning deck, maybe. No, it's too spread. It's spread over 3 different colors. Yeah, I need to fix that. Yeah. So that needs to be dealt with. Black. Red, green, and other stuff. Batteries. Well, I want to thank you guys very much for watching me kind of separate things out and whatnot. I'm trying to get to a point where I can actually build a deck for the wife so that you guys can actually see the process. But what I'm doing right now is part of the process. You go through, you look at decks, and you go, you know, that kind of worked, but it's not gonna work. So now what do we do? And that's what we're doing right now is going through. And as much as I love these decks, a lot of these decks to a certain degree were functional decks. And I use the term functional as in they're playable and they kind of work, but they are lacking in any specific way as far as like a win condition or appropriate number of particular types of cards or things like that. So it's important to go through and go, you know, I really like this deck, but it's just not gonna work. So and that's a lot of what this is. A lot of this is just going through and going, you know, I like it, but it doesn't work. And for the most part, the deck that I'm unsleeving right now is a black-green with basically a splash of blue. But I don't really like... I really want to get back into where I'm playing regularly, and I'm playing with my friend Dan every Thursday, doing test playing. But I really want to get to a point where I'm playing regularly, a little bit more regularly than once a week for a couple hours. I want to start playing with, the wife and actually streaming those games so you guys can see those games. And then my friend Dan is a bit pushy. I love him to death, but he is a bit pushy. But that being said, he really would like me to consider at least getting into tournament play and joining him every Friday. And I got to be honest, I'm pretty seriously thinking about it because I love the game. I really do. It's a fantastic game. It's been around for a very long time. It has a lot of strategy in it, a lot of contemplation. Deck building in and of itself is an art. There's a lot of time and research that if you're going to be doing tournament play, you do. Mainly because you have to. If you want to stay on top and whatnot, you've got to be doing the research. You've got to take a look at what the new set is, what's coming out, what the cards are, how they work, if there's any new abilities that are coming out that might be really cool. And so it's just there's a lot of legwork, and that's the main thing that I'm not sure I'm really up for. So this stream's been going on a while, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to finish unsleeving this deck. I'm going to break out the red deck. I'm going to show you guys how that works. I initially wanted to get a deck built for the wife on the stream, but I've wasted too much time doing this. It's not necessarily a waste, mainly because I've been able to go through, I've been able to separate out the decks, I've been able to separate out the colors, and now the next thing that I can do is I can actually really focus and really hone in on actually building a deck for the wife. But it is getting late. I do have a doctor's appointment, and I want to get to the den time so that we can at least do that. And yeah, so I think that's what we're going to do. So I'll break out the red deck. I'll show you that. And then I'll flip the camera around. We'll end the stream, and then I'll flip things around, get things set up for den time, and then we'll start den time. Because I know that there are some of you that really enjoy the den time, and it's kind of a very intricate part of the channel in and of itself, and I don't want to lose out. I don't want to lose out on that. So I'm going to go ahead and end the stream here. Thank you guys very much for watching. I know this wasn't terribly exciting. I had actually a specific plan, but it took longer to get into what I thought. So let me break out the red deck for you guys real quick. Give you a quick breakdown. And I actually need to get some red sleeves for this. Alright, so right now all I'm going to do first is separate out cards and land. Card, land, land. I might even change out some of the creature base on this. So that it's more functional. Okay. This is a 60 card deck. Okay, so that's the land. I can step you through the land. Honestly, the land is not what's important. You want to make sure that you've got a good base as far as the land goes. So this is a white-red deck. So I've got basic reds, basic whites. I don't think I've got any multis. I've got a multi. Yeah, I've got a multi in here, but I've got that. All right. So the next thing is to separate things out by casting cost. So the top section up here is top is going to be spells. Second row is going to be creatures, and we're going to go from lowest casting cost to highest casting cost on both. So, 1 drop, 5 drop, 1 drop creature, 5 drop spell, 1 drop spell, 1 drop spell, 2 drop spell, 3 drop creature, 2 drop creature. 2 drop, 1 drop, true spell, 4 creature, spell, creature, spell, spell, 2 drop creature, 1 drop spell, 2 drop spell, 3 drop spell, 1 drop, 3, 2, 1, and 3. Alright, so at this point, I've just got things separated out as far as casting cost, 1 through, again, highest, and this is the top row of spell. First row is, again, casting cost 1 through casting cost as high as it gets, creatures, okay? Now, let's start with the creatures. We've got 2 different 1-drop creatures. Okay, so the first creature is Foundry Steel, and I can't remember the other name, but this is the first 1-drop creature. And he is a 1/1 creature for 1. So that by itself is just good enough. Just fine. But he does have, whenever another red creature enters the battlefield under my control, Foundry under my control, Foundry, this creature itself gets a +1/+0 until end of turn, which is pretty awesome by itself. Okay, so that's our first 1-drop creature. Our second one, actually, that is all we have because that's actually a spell. All right, so that's the only 1-drop we've got. Okay, 1/1 for 1. With the added bonus that whenever another creature comes into play under my control, he gets +1/+0 until end of turn. So that's him. Okay. We've got 1 2-drop creature. Valley Dasher. He is a 2/2 for 1 red, 1 colorless, and haste. Haste means when it comes into play, it can attack that turn. Normally, creatures have summoning sickness. Normally. So, the fact that he's a 2/2 for 2 with haste is fantastic. The other thing with Valley Dasher is if he is able to attack each turn, he has to. Not really that bad. That's actually kind of the cool thing. Alright, so we've got a couple of 3-drops. And again, this deck is probably actually going to get reworked because, again, I've torn apart every deck that we've got. And I'm going to rebuild. I'm going to be rebuilding things. But I want to finish going through this deck. Okay. So the first 3-drop is a 3/2 for 3. And whenever this comes into play, or whenever it becomes tapped, it deals 1 damage to each opponent. So that's this guy. He's pretty cool. Okay. The next one is a 3/3 for double red and 1, and he's just got haste. So 3/3 for 3 with haste. Good card. And I apologize for the glare, guys. The next one is a 3/2 for 3, 1 red, 2 colorless with haste. This guy's got a cool ability. It's called Exert, which basically means I swing with him and he doesn't untap during my next untap phase. But the reason for that is because when I exert him, target creature can't block. So with this card, I can swing, exert him so he doesn't untap during my next untap phase, and make it so a creature can't block. Really good ability. Really, really good ability. And there's 2 of him. Okay, so that's my 3-drops. My next one is a 4-drop. This guy is 1 white, 1 red, and 2 colorless. 3/3 flyer with trample. So here's the way trample works. If a creature has a defense of 1, it blocks 1 point of attacking damage. The remaining 2 points carry through, hitting my opponent's life total. Good deal. Okay? That's the creature base for this deck. Okay? I've got a lot of 1-drops. The 1-drops in this deck are absolutely brutal. All right. There's 4 copies of this. This is called Seal of Fire. Seal of Fire is a 1-drop enchantment that I call it blowing. But basically, you sacrifice it to the graveyard, and it deals 2 damage to target creature or player, or just target player. No, it's either 2 damage to target creature or player. Good card. It's fantastic. There's 4 of them in the deck. So that's that one. The next one there's 4 of is a good old-fashioned lightning bolt. Good old-fashioned lightning bolt. 1 red. Lightning bolt deals 3 damage to target creature or player. Good card. 4 copies of it. The next 1-drop is Shock. Shock, again, is a very old card. It is a 1 red. Shock deals 2 damage to target creature or player. Good card. Fantastic. I love this card. Alright. The next set of stuff is my 2-drops. Okay. So my first 2-drop is Lightning Helix. Lightning Helix is a 1 red, 1 colorless. Not 1 red, 1 colorless. 1 red, 1 white. Lightning Helix deals 3 damage to target creature or player, and I gain 3 life. Fantastic card. I love this card. And there's 4 of them in the deck. If you guys are curious, I could actually probably put a list of the cards for you guys. If you're curious about it, just let me know in the comments as far as that goes. The next one, there's only 1 of. It is, again, another white, red. And this one is destroy target blocking creature. Creatures that were blocked by that creature in this combat gain trample until end of turn. This is an awesome card. What's really, really great about this particular card is that I can basically make it so that any remaining damage gets through, which is awesome. This is an awesome card. As much as I like it, though, it may end up coming out of the deck. The last one in the 2-drop slot is also it is a 1 red, 1 colorless. This is Lightning Strike. Lightning Strike deals 3 damage to target creature or player. In case you guys haven't figured it out by now, this deck is specifically designed to hit creature or player. I've played this deck concept on more than one occasion. This is a slight modification from a version that I had before. On average, this deck kills in between turn 3 to turn 5 reliably. It's an awesome deck concept. So, but anyways, that's the 2-drops. I've got 1 3-drop and 1 4-drop. I've got 1 copy of a 3-drop. It's an instant. Hungry Flames deals 3 damage to target creature and 2 damage to target player. This hits both a creature and the player. This is an awesome card. I love this card. I wish I had more of it. I don't, unfortunately. Otherwise, I would happily actually be running. I'd be running actually 2 additional copies, possibly even 3. The last one is Lava Axe. Lava Axe is a 5 cast, it is a sorcery, and it deals 5 damage to target player. For 5, it deals 5 damage for 5 directly to the player. Good card. Okay. I don't have a lot of creatures. For the most part, the creatures in this deck are designed to keep me alive. That's what the creatures are designed for. They're not really designed as the win condition. I have enough direct damage in this to where I mainly hit the person. I don't really think about their creatures too much. If I have to, I'll hit a creature and then hit them. Because a lot of times what'll happen is I will need to use, sometimes I will need to use my burn as a way to burn their creatures, and then I'll hit them with my creatures. So, burn that creature, swing with the dude. Next turn, they drop another creature. Burn that creature, swing with a dude. This deck is built. I have maximized this deck. I know how this deck format works because I've played it enough. I love it. Like I've said, this deck reliably kills reliably in between turn 3 and turn 5. Reliably, without a question. Because normally what happens is turn 1, drop a land, drop a creature. Turn 2, drop a second land. If they've got a creature, burn the creature, swing with my own creature. If they don't have a creature, hit them in the face and swing with a creature. By turn 2, I've usually, at that point, hit them for in between. Turn 1, I usually don't hit them at all. Typically. Turn 2, on the other hand, I usually hit them from anywhere from 3 points of damage to more than 3 points of damage. Usually 3 to 5, somewhere in between there. So, turn 2, they're usually down to 17 to 15, somewhere in between there. By the time I get to turn 3, they're usually down to right around 10 or a little bit under that. So that's usually turn 3, unless I've been able to actually do a lot more. Sometimes I can, depends on what I've got land base and what I've got in hand. Turn 4 usually is killed. Turn 4, turn 5 is usually game. Reliably, for the most part. But that's the deck. It's a pretty simple deck. It's it rocks. It's really, really solid. So that's this particular deck. So anyways, so yeah. I need to actually reshuffle and everything. I really actually want to get some red sleeves for this deck, and then I want to get foil copies. They make what's called foil copies, and basically they're really shiny and really, really pretty versions of the cards. I also probably need to create a sideboard for the deck because I don't have one, although the deck is really solid by itself as it is. So, yeah. Anyways, I'm probably actually going to spend a little time and actually maximize out what I've got as far as that deck goes to make it a lot more dangerous than it already is. But yeah, anyways, let's All right. We no longer need that in frame. We can send that on over. All right. Thank you guys so much for watching. I know that probably wasn't the most exciting stream, but I'm very passionate about Magic. Magic is a fantastic game. I love the game to death, and so I wanted to take a little bit of time and share that passion with you guys. So I'm going to do Den Time, but first I'm going to end this stream, get some tea, and then we will get started with Den Time. So if you guys are new to the channel, don't forget to hit that follow button up top along with the heart icon so you get notified when I stream, because I do gameplay 6 days a week, sometimes 7, and then I do a nightly vlog, and then everything is schedule and health permitting. So thank you guys so much. I'll see you guys in a few minutes for Den Time. Have a good night.